All right, Chiefs Kingdom, we've got a massive rumor shaking up the NFL world right now. Word on the street is that Tyreek Hill could be making his way back to the Kansas City Chiefs. And if this actually happens, oh man, the Chiefs offense could become downright unstoppable next season. I mean, think about it. Patrick Mahomes is already leading one of the most dangerous teams in the entire league. But if you add Tyreek Hill's insane speed and game-breaking ability back into the mix, Danks are going to have nightmares. Just picture it. Hill's game-changing sprints, Travis Kelce's absolute dominance, and Mahomes' pure wizardry all working together again. That's the kind of offense that doesn't just beat teams. It destroys them. If this move goes down, we could be watching the birth of a whole new dynasty. The Chiefs are already well on their way, but bringing Hill back, that would make them the clear Super Bowl favorites. No question. Stopping this offensive juggernaut would take nothing short of a miracle. But what do you guys think? Could Hill really come back to Kansas City? And if he does, would the Chiefs become an unbeatable force? And how can Brett Veach and Andy Reid use this to their advantage? We're going to break it all down right now, so stick with me. And hey, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that red button and join this incredible community. Chiefs Kingdom, let's prove the doubters wrong and show them just how unstoppable we really are. All right, let's get straight to the point. The Chiefs salary cap situation. Now, I'm going to be real with you. It's not looking too comfortable right now. According to overthecap.com, the Chiefs are only about $941,000 under the salary cap. That's practically nothing. And that's before we even consider the $10 million they'll need just to sign their rookies from the draft. So, yeah, we've got a bit of a financial problem here. But there are solutions. One of the most obvious ways to free up some cap space, restructuring Patrick Mahomes' contract. Doing that could free up nearly $39 million, and that would give the team some much-needed breathing room. But that's not the only option. Brett Veach and the Chiefs front office are going to have to get creative if they want to balance the books while keeping this team competitive. And the good news, help is on the way. The NFL has just announced a record salary cap increase, and this could be an absolute game changer for Kansas City. If Veach and Andy Reid take full advantage of this opportunity, the team could keep its stars and bring in new talent to keep dominating the league. The 2025 salary cap is set to hit an insane $275 million. That's an enormous jump, especially compared to the dip we saw during the pandemic. In 2021, the cap was just $182.05 million. And in just a few years, it's jumped nearly $100 million. And guess what? This is just the beginning. So what does this mean for the Chiefs? It means more money to spend, and that means they can lock in key players like Trey Smith, Nick Bolton, Justin Reed, and later on guys like Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis. If the Chiefs play their cards right, they could keep this championship caliber roster intact for years to come. And here's the thing. This cap increase also gives the Chiefs flexibility. They can backload contracts, pay less now, and spread the cost out over future years when the cap's even higher. That's a perfect strategy to stay competitive. The Eagles already nailed this strategy when they locked in Jalen Hurts' contract early. And now that deal looks like a bargain. The Chiefs need to follow that example and start thinking long-term. And with more cap space, the Chiefs can be aggressive in free agency. They could add some serious firepower to this roster. And if they do, the rest of the league better watch out. So now I want to hear from you, Chiefs Kingdom. Do you think the Chiefs are going to spend big in free agency? Drop a Y for yes and an N for no in the comments. And your comment could even get featured in the next video. So let's fill up that comment section. The bottom line is this: the sky is the limit for the Kansas City Chiefs. If they take full advantage of this salary cap explosion, we could be looking at a dynasty in the making. And you can bet we'll be following every twist and turn of this journey right here on the channel. So if you haven't already, hit that red subscribe button and join this amazing community. Turn on those notifications, like this video, and share it with your fellow Chiefs fanatic. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, let's talk about something that's been making some serious noise lately. You're about to hear a rumor so wild it'll make you question everything you thought you knew about NFL decision-making. Travis Kelce, Kansas City Chiefs legend, on the chopping block. Yeah, you heard me right. But let me tell you right now, what's happening here is nothing short of absurd. And there's a deeper story behind this rumor that you need to hear. We all know the NFL offseason is pure chaos. It's filled with speculation and ridiculous headlines. And this takes the cake. The idea that the Chiefs would even consider releasing Travis Kelce, that's not just laughable, it's borderline criminal. But let's break it down. Why is this rumor even a thing? Well, it's no secret that Kelce's getting into his mid-30s. And yeah, he's starting to show some minor signs of slowing down. But let me ask you this. Can you really imagine the Chiefs cutting him loose? The answer is no, absolutely not. We're talking about Travis Kelce. This man has been the heartbeat of this team for years, not just because of his on-field dominance, but because of his leadership and the culture he's helped build in Kansas City. Last season, Kelce had 97 catches, 97. Who else on this roster even came close to that number? And who else has that level of chemistry with Patrick Mahomes? Nobody. Yes, the Chiefs salary cap situation is tight, and Kelce's cap hit for 2025 is nearly $20 million. That's a big number. But the idea that the Chiefs would actually release him over this, come on, that's not happening. Now, could Kelce restructure his contract to help the team? Maybe. But let's be very clear. Restructuring is one thing. Releasing him, that's never going to happen. And let's not forget, Kelce has been giving this team a discount for years. He's been one of the best tight ends in NFL history while making less than his market value. That's the kind of loyalty you don't see often, and the idea of cutting him after all that. That's just stupidity. Chiefs aren't foolish enough to make a mistake like this. Financial planning is important, but cutting Travis Kelce, that's a bridge too far. So Chiefs Kingdom, Mike, let's set the record straight. Kelce isn't going anywhere unless he decides to. And then if the Chiefs want to keep him, which they absolutely should, they'll find a way to make it work. Legacy matters, and Travis Kelce is So let's really break down what's happening here, because this talk of cutting Kelce, it's not just about money. There's a much bigger picture we need to consider. First and foremost, we can talk about the financials all we want. We know Kelce's cap hit for the upcoming season is a massive $20 million. And yes, the salary cap is a harsh reality for every team in the league. I get it. But take a step back and think about this logically. You want to cut ties with a future Hall of Famer because of a cap hit? Really? This is the same player who put up 97 receptions last season. That led the team. That number speaks volumes about his continued productivity, even in his mid-30s. Let me ask you something. How many other tight ends in the NFL are putting up numbers like that? How many are so deeply integrated into their team's offensive system that they essentially serve as a second quarterback on the field, helping to direct traffic in the midst of high-stakes games? We're talking about a guy who has led the Chiefs through playoff battles, a guy who's torched defenses when it mattered most, and you want to cut him to save a few bucks. Come on. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not ignoring the business side of the NFL. I understand the hard realities of cap management. The Chiefs are a competitive team with high expectations, and they've got to balance their books to maintain that Super Bowl caliber roster. But you can't just brush aside the value Kelce brings to the table. His presence on the field isn't just about catches and touchdowns. It's about leadership, influence, culture. This guy has been the heartbeat of the Chiefs offense for years. To even consider letting him go, that's not just a financial misstep. That's a PR disaster. And while we're talking about his contributions, let's talk about leadership. Leadership is the glue that holds everything together. Look at the Chiefs roster and tell me who the heart and soul of that locker room is. It's Travis Kelce's work ethic, his competitive drive, his relationship with Mahomes. They've built a bond that's almost unbreakable. That kind of connection, it wins championships. That kind of leadership pushes teams to greatness. Can you honestly say you'll find another player with that same influence, that same ability to galvanize a team the way Kelce does? Good luck with that. And I know some people are trying to draw parallels to the Tony Gonzalez situation, but listen, that was a completely different story. Gonzalez was looking for a way out. He wanted a chance to compete for a championship elsewhere. And the Chiefs, they weren't the team they are today. They were in a rebuilding phase. That's not the case with Kelce. We're talking about a player who's already led this team to multiple championships. A player who, despite being in his mid-30s, is still one of those productive tight ends in the entire league. But let me make this crystal clear. The idea of cutting Travis Kelce, it's absurd. It's an insult to the player. It's an insult to the team. And it's an insult to every fan who's ever cheered for the Kansas City Chiefs. This guy's done everything for this franchise. And now, because of a salary cap issue, you want to turn your back on him? Give me a break. Look, I get it. The salary cap is tough. The Chiefs have a lot of talent, and they're going to have to make some difficult decisions. But cutting Kelce, that's not the answer. The Chiefs can restructure his deal. They can rework his contract. They can find ways to make the numbers work, but releasing him, that's a decision so misguided, it's beyond comprehension. And let's not forget Kelce's impact on the Chiefs' championship run. Remember that game against the Houston Texans in the divisional round? You remember how Kelce went off, single-handedly dominating the Texans' defense and proving to everyone that he's still one of the best tight ends in the league. regardless of his age, he's still a difference maker. He's still capable of putting up massive numbers when it counts. And if you're the Chiefs, you do not let a player like that walk out the door without a fight. Now, I know the haters are out there. I know they'll say, oh, he's getting older, or, oh, he can't do it like he used to. But that kind of lazy, short-sighted thinking, that's exactly what gets teams in trouble. Yeah, maybe Kelce isn't the same player he was 5 years ago, but he's still one of the most dangerous players on the field. He's still a mismatch for any defense. And let's not forget, he's still one of Patrick Mahomes' most trusted targets. That chemistry, it's undeniable. This whole talk about cutting him, it's nonsense. The Chiefs know it. The fans know it. And deep down, I think even Kelce knows it. This isn't about being cheap. It's about keeping one of the greatest players in franchise history where he belongs. And if that means restructuring his deal, so be it. But letting him go, that's not just a bad idea. It's a terrible one. Travis Kelce has earned the right to control his own destiny. If he's going to walk away from the game, if he's going to leave the Chiefs, it'll be on his terms. Not because the team decided to dump him over financial concerns. Because this is Travis Kelce we're talking about. Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Chiefs updates. Go Chiefs.